Welcome to Tam, the Average Martial Artist. I'm Tam, and today we're going to do a Tam's review. Today we're going to be looking at these. So we are doing a Farabi Thai pad review. Farabi, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but my club has used Thai pads for a good 5 years now. We didn't always use them. When myself and another member joined, we introduced them as a training tool. Believe it or not, they used more of the shield types on the shoulders and just focus mitts for the hands. But we introduced the founder of the club to using Thai pads, really enjoyed them. And so now it's a staple of the club that we use every week. So we were introduced to this particular make. We used a different type where we'd found some quite cheaply, a red and black set, very thick, very dense, very heavy. I think we've got a picture that we can insert on the screen here, and they're fun, they're really good, but they were heavy, they were very dense. Not a lot of people enjoyed using them, so we started to look for other options. One of our other members mentioned another type he used by this company, Farabi, and showed us a pair here that he had been using for a good, now 10 years. So I had a look at them, looked around, and in October of 2021 we bought four pairs, different colors. There's black, red and blue, and at the time we purchased a pair for $29.99 for the pair. That was October of 2021. I looked around, I looked at some different types. There was things that I quite liked about these ones, which we're going to talk about now. So it is synthetic leather, it's a fake leather, covers all the way around except this strip down the back where your forearm goes. Inside is 5 layers of padding, and that's to help shock absorption, stop vibration going through your arm. Instead of it being one dense piece, it is apparently 5 different layers all together. They have a very thick handle. You've got to get your grip strength to hold on to these ones, and they are riveted onto the leather as well as stitched. I really did like the hook and loop system for the straps. Other ones I've used before have been 2 separate pieces, and when you're trying to put them on yourself, it's not the easiest to do. When you're trying to hold it onto your arm, these 2 pieces fall apart, and you're trying to hold it up onto your arm whilst strapping them over. So I find the hook and the loop much easier to do yourself. Okay, so I've got one on, slide my arm through, there we go, 1, 2, and you've got the pair, and off you go, really. Obviously it's much nicer if a partner helps you put them on, but you can do it by yourself if you need to. So they're also curved. They're not flat like some styles are. I don't have an issue with the flat ones myself. I do quite prefer the curved ones when you're taking kicks. I find people's shins, okay, go into that curve a lot better. There's apparently reinforced stitching on here as well, so you've got thicker stitching along the side, and you've got much thinner stitching around the edges as well. Now, a really big factor that I like about these, as I've mentioned, is this padding up the center for your forearm. Okay, now this is a layer of sponge with netting over the top. It really helps with sweat absorption. Okay, so when you're doing your rounds, you've been holding this for a while, your arm will not stick to this. Okay, yes, this will get sweaty, all right, but your arm won't stick to this, unlike other types of Thai pads. And we'll talk about this pair at another time, but this one down the center just has more synthetic leather. Your arm is going to stick to this all the time. Okay, so this I'm really fond of. I really like this, and it's sponged as well, so it is a bit more absorption there. Pros and cons. Lots of pros, as I said. They're a nice lightweight. You can throw these around if you want to. I like the shape of them. I'm loving the forearm sponge in the middle. I like the handles as well. Cons. Over time, you know, these handles start to shape one direction or the other. I actually had a joke with one of the guys in the class the other day. I put one on and I went, oh no, that's for the left, and I changed it to the other arm. And he says, well, how do you know? They both look as identical. I said, over time, you will see this handle has started to shape to one direction, and I know that's where my thumb goes. You can see them there. They're both leaning inwards, so I know that's the direction they go. If I'm trying to hold it the other way now, it's uncomfortable. Is that a pro? Is it a con? Well, I'd say it's a con, the fact that they do start to mold one direction. You can't use them so easily ambidextrously anymore. Over time, they do start to crack on the front. Okay, I can't blame them too much. Okay, it's a shaped piece of leather. It's repeatedly hit. Lots of impacts on these every week. Okay, so as I said, we've had ours since 2021. The other instructor who told us about this make has had these ones for 10 years. As you can see, cracks are across the front now as well. Now, sweat will start to rust your loops, your metal loops holding these on. Okay, you can see that on the camera at all. There we are, it's a bit better. You'll start to get a bit of sweat stain down your sponging as well. Okay, but after 10 years of use, they're not falling apart, but they're starting to show wear and tear. Some of the stitching is starting to fray on them. Okay, starting to lift up a little bit, but they've not fallen apart. They're still in very good condition. As I said, a bit of cracking, bit of sweat stain. Some of the buckle parts are starting to rust on them now. But that's a lot of use, 10 years worth of use on those ones. Ours have had 4 and have only really just started to show wear and tear on them. One thing I'm a little bit disappointed with is the colors. Okay, so we've got black, we've got red. You can see there's a nice crease down that one, and we've got blue. Okay, yeah, 3 colors, fine, that's great. All I would say is some other colors are more interesting, more entertaining. The color, I love this color. This is really nice luminous green. I really do enjoy this with the black and green. I just find blue, black, blue and red, yeah, it's fine. Maybe just a little bit boring after a while, but I like bright colors, so that's not a problem. That's just a mention about it. I did look these back up. I found the link. I can put the link in the description for this one. Now, prices have changed since we got these ourselves. We paid $29.99 for a pair. Now, looking them back up on the website, they're now selling them for $20.99 for a single pad by itself. If you want the pair, you're going to have to pay $44.99 now. That's from the same website, same manufacturer. Prices have changed over the last 4 years. So if you're looking for these or something similar, do what you usually do. Try and look for the best price. Obviously at times you pay for the quality. I think if or when we replace some of these and get some more of them, I might just accept that they're $44.99 because I've used these a while now. I do like them. I'll probably get some more. But I may look around. I may look at some other makes. I do want a bit more of a funky color. Just something a bit more bright, a bit more fun. And there we go, guys. So that is the Farabi Thai pad review. I do really like these. I would really recommend these to people if you're looking for new Thai pads, if you're a club that has some and are trying to replace them currently. Give these ones a go. I do really recommend them. As I said, just over time they do start to wear out like everything, but I would fully recommend them. If you use these yourselves, let me know in the comments what you think about them. How much did you pay for them? How long have you used them for? Have you got other types of Thai pads that you would recommend? Let us know in the comments. All right. And guys, as always, remember, it's okay to be average, and we'll see you in the next video.